Hey people, Paris here. Did you dream of a Let's Go or Aura style remake of Pokemon Platinum? When Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were announced, were you excited about a new Pokemon game being developed by a new company? Maybe you were hyped about the fact that the game was being made in Unity, hoping it would break the limits of previous Pokemon game engines. Looking at you, Scarlet and Violet. And then the trailer for the game dropped, and, well, it was disappointing, to say the least. The game simply did not live up to expectations in terms of what it looked like. But even then, from the initial reveal trailer to the final release trailer, the game looked considerably different. And in my opinion, it looked better in the original trailer than it did in the release trailer, but that's just subjective. But it wasn't just the questionable art style. As you played through the game, you started to notice even bigger issues. The game lacked many of the quality of life improvements introduced in later generations. It didn't have the content, bug fixes, or post-game features that were part of Pokemon Platinum. In fact, it didn't feel like it had any upgrades from the original Diamond and Pearl at all. Except the underground, but that's such a minor feature that it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. This game is essentially a carbon copy of the original Diamond and Pearl releases, with absolutely no features or content from Platinum. The real question you should be asking is, why was this game even made? Subjectively, it's a worse version of Diamond and Pearl, and objectively, it's inferior to Platinum in almost every way. Dominator has just released a new mod marking one of the final steps in the community's effort to turn this game into a true Pokemon Platinum remake. Today we'll focus on the specific mod that takes the low-quality Funko Pop style character models and transforms them into what they should have been from the start. De-Chibified replaces every character in the game with their battle model in the overworld, a change that was absolutely necessary. It's such an obvious improvement to the game that frankly, I have not played this game. I was holding off on playing this game until this mod was released. From day one, my brain was like, okay, this game is made in Unity, so it can't be that hard to just swap the models that they have in battle, because they're already 3D models, and just put them in the overworld. Obviously, you need to animate them and blah blah blah, but the model is already there, it can't be that hard. And realistically, every single character is using exactly the same animations, so just take the model, throw the animations on it, and bada bing bada boom. To be fair, I am not a modder, I don't know if that's how that works, but that is in theory how it works. And the fact that it took this long, the fact that it's here at all, finally, is amazing. And now I can actually enjoy this game. And your next question may be, what about all the NPCs that don't have battle models? Because they don't enter combat ever, like Nurse Joy or stuff like that. Well, they've all been replaced with custom models, even in battle. So like, for example, Nurse Joy, if she were to go into battle, now she uses this new model. I don't have concrete evidence, but I suspect that all of these models are sourced from Pokemon Masters EX, a mobile gacha game that features relatively quality 3D models for nearly every character, which is extremely convenient, as extracting these models and animations from the game is surprisingly easy, and the fact that they have all of these different characters from all of these different games and different canons or whatever you want to call it, in a standardized art style, makes it a perfect fit for a mod like this. Again, I didn't read that anywhere, I just have my suspicions. Allegedly, it's really easy to do. Like, I have a friend who extracted the model straight out of Pokemon Masters EX of Adaman from Legends Arceus. And the models even come with bones and they're like all rigged up already, so you can just like move them around and pose them however you want. On release, the mod definitely had some pretty obvious and glaring bugs. However, just a week after its launch, the creator went out of their way to fix every single one that was reported, that I know of. I found out about the update just a day or two before making this, so a lot of the footage here contains bugs that have already been solved. Another obvious upgrade for this game is called Illuminated Platinum, which changes many of the game's cutscenes and story sections to match those of Platinum. However, there are some notable omissions, like the distortion world, which is too big of a change to implement at this stage. I know someone's developing that, but that's for a later project. It also upgrades the teams of NPCs to match those of the original Platinum, and I believe some of them, or most of them, are based off of another ROM hack for the original Platinum called Renegade Platinum, which is kind of the gold standard of difficulty ROM hacks. So this game is in theory harder than normal game, which I mean it should be. Pokemon games are way too easy. In the future, a lot of quality of life features from the newer generations, new Pokemon, and elements like the Distortion World are planned to be added in an upcoming BDSP update called the Re-Illuminated Platinum. I will be making a video on Illuminated Platinum soon enough and Re-Illuminated Platinum whenever that may come out, which it does not have a release date, so it could be a long time. Given how obvious the de-Chibified upgrade is to this game, I personally hope the quality of this mod continues to improve over time and that it eventually becomes a standard feature of Re-Illuminate Platinum. Now, however, the developers have explicitly stated that this will not be integrated into Re-Illuminated Platinum in the future because the scale isn't quite right and the quality isn't quite there. Because, like, for example, if you walk through a doorway, or you stand next to a tree, or you stand next to a building, or you stand in the grass, you can tell that this world was proportioned for small, annoying children instead of normal-sized people. So it would definitely require some additional tweaking to kind of the entire game world. The success of something like this will depend entirely on the quality of the mod being improved significantly. Right now, many of the models don't match the intended style, with the proportions being completely different because they're models from completely different sources. As you may have noticed already, there's also the jarring effect of entering a room and seeing a random NPC wearing the reused skin of an important named character from a different game. My intention in pointing out these flaws isn't to say the mod is bad or low quality, but rather as a call to action. I'm hoping that animators or 3D artists can step up and help improve or make their own version of this mod so that it can be then integrated into Re-Illuminated Platinum, along with Pokemon Resaturated, please, dear God, oh my god. This would truly create the best of all worlds and deliver the true, finalized, and definitive Pokemon Platinum experience that we were all hoping BDSP would be. I'm really excited for what the future holds for all of these projects, because they're all really cool. If you have any suggestions or feedback for this video, drop them in the comments below. I truly appreciate constructive criticism because, to be honest, I still have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Also, let me know what projects you're excited for down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out eventually. Feel free to check out my other channel for my non-Pokemon content. You can watch my 3-hour review of Starfield, and look out for my upcoming hour-long review of its DLC, which is dropping, actually, by the time I post this, it's probably going to be a week before this video. So yeah, it should be out by now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you love the video. And if you'd like to support me as I put in more time and effort into YouTube and Twitch, check out my Ko-Fi in the description below. Thanks for watching, and see you later.